so much for clicking on the video. My name is Leah, and let's recap and review Real Housewives of Miami. This is season 6, episode 20, the final part of the reunion. So let's get into it, y'all. So I have my headphones in mainly because a few people have left comments about the sound saying that it's either muffled or it's not clear or the audio is low. This is a brand new mic. And on my end, it is like crystal clear and the volume sounds fine. I don't know if it's getting messed up when I render the video, but I had the headphones in just in case, just to see if the audio is like going in and out. So it's trial and error right now. So bear with me. So the episode opens up where it left off, where we have Larsa and Guerdy going back and forth. Guerdy is saying that Larsa made her cancer journey harder. Larsa's like, girl, don't put that on me because I didn't do that. And then Larsa's whole thing is like, well, you called me fake, and if you were really my friend, I don't think you would call me fake. And Guerdy's whole thing is like, well, physically, you are the fakest. And Larsa takes offense. My thing about it is, Larsa, it's really easy to know that you've gotten work done on your body, on your face. And gone are the days where people are really like judging people for getting work done. Like, yeah, people will make jokes about it on like Twitter or on TikTok or even on Instagram or Facebook. But at the end of the day, nobody's really like bullying people over getting surgery done unless it's something obnoxious. Like that whole ab etching thing looks gross on men and women. It looks like bumps underneath your stomach. You know, if you get a BBL and the thighs don't match, yeah, especially if your butt is like obnoxiously big, where it's like nobody humanly possible has a butt that big on that small of a frame. So it's kind of like, girl, if you would just be honest, I don't think anybody would care. But it's the fact that you keep acting like, oh, you've never had work done. And it's like, it's easy to tell that you have work done, Larsa. Like, it's very easy. It's not like the ass isn't subtle. The face work done isn't subtle. Like, girl. So Andy ends up asking Lisa, like, hey, like, what did you think after like Larsa telling Guerdy's business about her cancer diagnosis? And Lisa ends up being like, no, I told her it was wrong and she needed to apologize. Well, Guerdy starts chiming in, telling Lisa to hold her friend accountable and stop advocating for Larsa. And that's when she calls her a mascot again. My thing about it is with Guerdy is, how are you going to ask Lisa to have your back, but yet you keep insulting her? And she told you that she thought Larsa was wrong. Guerdy got on my nerves this part 3, because she kept cutting people off. She kept interjecting. And it was like, yes, Guerdy, your feelings are totally valid. You have a right to feel hurt by Larsa. You have a right to be angry that the ladies didn't step up for you in the way that you wanted them to. Because Alexia starts chiming in, trying to have Guerdy's back. You got Marcus in his... Marcus, why are you here? Again, why is Marcus and Jody here? Like, Marcus is in the back talking about, oh, now Alexia wants to speak up. Shut up, Marcus. Go dribble a basketball. And so, so Guerdy is like, none of y'all really spoke up. So she's clearly reading fan comments, because a lot of people felt like the ladies didn't do a great job advocating and sticking up for Guerdy. And I don't think they did either. A lot of them had thoughts about what Larsa was doing, and they felt like Larsa was definitely wrong, but they weren't saying it to Larsa. So I can get her frustrations, but I just felt like her constantly calling Lisa a mascot, but then turning around and saying, well, hold your friend accountable and like advocate for me, doesn't make sense to me. Because if I was Lisa, I would dig my heels even more on my friend's side and be like, girl, I'm holding her accountable, but stop insulting me. Like, let it go, bro. Like, let it go. So Larsa ends up being like, well, I've called, I've texted, I've prayed, I've sent flowers. I've done everything imaginable that I thought we would be good on for me to like show you that I'm sorry. Well, then Alexia was like, well, have you tried to like sit down with her like in a one-on-one, like physically? And Larsa's like, no. So then they go on to the question about when Larsa was questioning Guerdy's diagnosis. Like, does she really have cancer? And she was like, yeah. Larsa's like, yeah, I called Nicole because Lisa told me that you were testing me, and they showed Lisa doing it, and Nicole even co-signs it. She's like, I think things just got misconstrued because of what Lisa said about the testing thing, because Guerdy did say she was testing her. And Larsa's whole thing is like, who tested somebody with cancer? And I'm on Larsa's side with that one. Like, you can test people, but you have to be prepared for them to fail the test. But I wouldn't use something as serious as cancer. I probably would have done what, like, I saw a TikTok where this girl was like, she was trying to figure out if her friend was like spreading her business. So she told the girl that she was like afraid of ghosts. And then the girl got in front of a group of people and told the girl's tea about her being afraid of ghosts. But the girl wasn't afraid of ghosts. I feel like Guerdy should have used something that wasn't such a sensitive topic other than cancer. Because if I was Larsa, I don't know if I would ask Nicole if she was lying, but I definitely would be weary of Guerdy, because I would be like, why are you testing me? Like, who are you to test me? Like, you're not my teacher and I'm not in like school. Like, so why are you testing me? And if you feel the need to test our friendship, then clearly it's not something that we need to be in, because I'm obviously failing whatever test you're giving me, because now you keep trying to figure out, am I a good person or not? But I think Larsa apologizes again, and Guerdy's like, I want you to show me, not tell me, which is also Guerdy's right to be like, hey, you've apologized, but I don't feel like it's sincere based off of your actions. So now I need you to prove to me by showing me that you could be better. So next they get on Kiki, and we find out she got a new man. Y'all know they found her new man? Like, he cute. He's not my type of like white guy, but he cute. You know, he handsome. He a handsome looking fellow. Why did I call this man fella like I'm a 50-year-old? Why did I call him that? But he seems like a nice guy. But they found him. We find out that Marisol was the one that kind of got them together. Like, she was trying to hook her up with a matchmaker. And I think the matchmaker, I guess, found the guy, or somebody else hooked her up with him. But she was like, she's glad she waited 3 years to meet him. And he seems like he seems perfect for her. So that's great for her. So they start asking her questions about her family. We know that when Kiki was 15, unfortunately, because she had interest in becoming a model, and I guess in the Haitian culture, wearing anything that's very scantily clad, like they equate that to, like, you know, like being in the spicy work industry, the adult film industry. And so her stepmom kicked her out at like 15. The dad was like okay with it. He didn't do anything. And the messed up part about it is like her dad left Haiti to go to America, got a new wife, and I guess Guerdy kept chiming in and saying that that's really common for them to do that. Kind of cutting Kiki off, and I was like, Guerdy, hush. Like, just let her talk. And so Kiki is explaining that, like, you know, that is common, like that. She went to go live where her dad, met the lady, was like surprised the lady was already pregnant. Then they came back to Haiti. The lady's pregnant with her kids, and that's when the mom found out that the dad and her were through. Like, he didn't even have the guts to tell the lady that. So Kiki went to live with them. Then they kicked her out. She ended up being able to bring her mom back over here to America in 2012. And, you know, she's still working on her relationship with her dad. She just I think she said she just started talking back to her stepmom, but not really. She has like 3 other siblings, and the oldest ones are starting to like reach out to her to get to know her. But it's still like a hard like situation. They then start talking about the swimsuit event, and she gets really like emotional about it because it really hurt her that none of the girls like came. She said she knew that Nicole wouldn't be there. She also knew Guerdy had just had surgery. Marisol said, girl, I told y'all I wasn't staying. Like, I tried, but it is what it is. And she was just like, it hurt because she doesn't like doing things with the ladies because, one, she doesn't have the same like financial like standing as they do. She also gets emotional when she talks about like her daughter and like being like, I've never really thrown her a birthday party, like I don't have the money like that. And everyone's like, Kiki, no, like, because she starts getting really emotional. Like Marisol is rubbing on her, Julia's trying to take care of her, Guerdy is like, Kiki, breathe, 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 because I guess she could tell maybe the lady was about to start hyperventilating. But Kiki was like very emotional. Julia speaks up and says that she admires Kiki and she understands what it's like to come from another country as a single mom, because that's what she did with her kids. And she was like, she loves the fact that this season the audience got an opportunity to get to know Kiki a lot better. You know, she shared more about who she is and where she comes from. And, you know, everyone's like, well, you know, Summer's birthday is in November. We will throw her a party. And then I was like, okay, are we forgetting about her son? What about her son? And then we find out like her son is his birthday, I think she said was like in September or something, but he's 18 years old. But I do hope they throw her a big birthday party. Like, kids deserve, like, you deserve one big birthday party. Like, I remember, and even if you know they're not gonna remember, but there was one birthday party I remember where I think I was like maybe turning like 5 or 6, and my mom got a birthday cake with my face on it, like one of those huge sheet cakes that you can get at like Costco or Walmart, and they got my picture on it, and like my mom put it in the middle and just let me and my friends like dig in eating it. I remember that was like one of my best birthdays. It was a good time. So I hope they do that like for her. And one thing I love about this franchise is like even the friends of the show have compelling stories. Like, it reminds me of like old seasons of Housewives, like Marlo's story. We all knew Marlo, like we kind of all got Marlo's backstory a little bit when she was on Atlanta Housewives, and then, you know, as she continued to stay on the show, we got more information about her through Kenya and Nene, with that whole beef and stuff. But it's like the friends of the shows, their stories add to the show. Like Adriana and Marisol's feud, you know, learning about Adriana and her going through life, trying to learn, like, you know, be a pop star, but also being a divorcee and working through that and being an empty nester. Marisol getting married and, you know, being a stepmom. Also, like, it's just like their stories add to it. And that's what I enjoy about it. Get on Nicole's house. They said it, Anthony says it should be done in April. Like, I think she said like April 20th, but she's due like the first week of April. I would have told Anthony he need to be done by the end of March. Like, I'm not going to the hospital pushing a full human being out my vagina to come back to a house that's not done. No, ma'am. No. No, 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 no. Plus, I hope we get to see like before and after. I love that. Like, when people renovate homes, I love to see like the changes. So I do hope we get before and after pictures. But yeah, I would have told, if I was her, I'd have told her to tell Anthony he needs to be done by the end of March. Someone makes a comment, like a viewer comment was like, why would Larsa give her child $2,500 a month? And Larsa was like, because it's expensive to be in LA. Then Adriana gonna give a backhanded comment saying for all of Larsa's fault, she's a good mom. I said, girl, just be quiet. Just be quiet. But I mean, LA is expensive. Like a lot of the people that I follow, like on Twitter, when they were having a discussion about this segment, a few people was like, that's not enough for LA. Like, especially with the crowds that Sophia, Larsa's daughter, probably runs in the like streets with. She probably needs to be getting at least 10 grand a month. I said, I bet, like, but Larsa says the girl also makes her own money because she was modeling for Fashion Nova, and then she said some other fashion brand. But I mean, like, why do y'all care what she gives her child? Like, I can't fault nobody for giving their child that. Like, Kiki said she gives her son $300 a month. Girl, $300 a month. Either way, like, it's monthly money they didn't have to work for. Like, I'm not going to be mad at parents for giving their kids money, especially if they're good kids and they make good grades. They're not like in these streets getting into trouble. Why would I be hating on that? The person who asked that question sounds like a hater. Sound like you want that, and I would take it. I would gladly take $2,000 a month. Okay, she probably need to up it to $5,000 a month if we being honest. Um, they then end up breaking. Marcus comes on the stage. Why are you on the stage? Jody's not even on the stage, Marcus. Why are you on the stage, Mark? Talk about you're a queen. Sit on your throne. Shut up, Marcus. He irritates me. I wish he went back to being quiet or talking less because when he spoke less, he was a lot more endearing. A lot more endearing. So why are you speaking now? Get on my nerves. They then start talking to Julia about her $30 jam. Julia's like, well, I Googled and like Google was like, I can sell my jam for $50. Julia, no one is buying $30 guava jam. Like I think Marisol said, girl, sis, it's not, someone said it's not caviar. Either way, but like, I don't think I've ever seen $30 jam. Even when I've gone to like the farmer's market and I know that's fresh jam, at most I've seen people sell their jam at the farmer's market for like $15. Yeah. And if it's more than 15, the jar is like massive. But that little jar, like I think Julia's jar that she held in the like what's it called, that she had in the season was maybe about this big, like maybe about like a regular size of like preservative jam jar. But like I said, if I've been at the farmer's market and they're selling jam for like 15 and $20, the jar is like massive and it's probably for a good like a household of like 6 or 7 people. I said, Julia, you don't lost your mind. You don't lost your mind. Julia trying to explain like, well, you know how the fertilizers from the chickens poop every single day. That is not profound. Like, and I know you got a lot of chickens. Girl, stop playing, Julia. So then they talk about her doing the opera. She sounds horrible. I giggled like hell when they asked Andy asked Adriana, do you think Julia has a career in opera? And Adriana was like circling the airport to get to her response. And Marisol was like, that's a slow no. And I said, that's what it is. Because girl, just say your friend, like you don't see it that way. All you have to do is say, I don't know if she wants a career in singing. I think she should just keep it as a hobby. Like, what are we doing? So then they start talking about, Andy asked Julia, well, what do you think about your friendship with Alexia and Adriana? Like, do you feel like your friendship with Alexia has hindered your friendship with Adriana? And Julia's like, no, I've known Adriana for 10 years. I feel like if anything, no outside forces is going to be the end of our relationship. It would have to be something internally. Then Adriana ends up calling Marisol and Alexia plastic, like Regina George and Gretchen Wiener. And they're like, no, it's more so because she feels like, Adriana feels like Julia's being gullible with her friendship with Alexia. And that it was like, because someone said, like a viewer's question was like, do you think it was a PR stunt from Alexia to get cool with Julia? And Adriana pretty much said yes, but Julia is like, no, I think we have a real friendship. Like I had a really good time going out to dinner with Alexia. I honestly don't think it's a PR stunt from Alexia. What I will say is I think Alexia saw the comments and she saw how people didn't like how she showed up last season, especially with the prostitution comment. Like she didn't show up as her best self. So I think Alexia's goal this season was to come in being a lot more open-minded and trying to move forward with the girls, which I think she did. But I do think her in the beginning, I kind of was like, I don't know about this friendship, but it does seem like they have a genuine friendship now. And Adriana's just hating because she doesn't like Alexia and Marisol. And like Marisol said, it's more so you tainted how she feels about us because we didn't know the lady. So how were we gonna just outright taint her perception of you or of us? Like, what are you talking about? But I don't think that. So we also find out that with Martina's cancer being, I think, in remission and she's been doing very great, her and Julia have decided to continue doing the adoption process. She actually has employed 2 adoption agencies, and she was thinking about getting a boy, but she doesn't know. I think maybe she should get a boy, but then again, I would hate for her to like put her feelings like maybe she shouldn't get a boy because you could tell that Julia has unhealed trauma with the death of her son, that I feel like getting a boy would probably be very like traumatic for that child, in the sense of like maybe she would have unresolved issues and put a lot of expectations on that kid, whereas maybe having a girl, because she's had 2 girls, the expectations or the way she feels, she could probably parent from a different place or a healthier place, in my opinion. But good for them. Start talking to Adriana about like her career, singing with Emilio and all of that stuff. And then for some reason, Larsa and Alexia get into it about, they start talking about Mexico. So they talk about her singing and, performing in Mexico City at Pride. She was like, it was an honor and all of that stuff. Then they start talking about Larsa and Alexia arguing back and forth about the tequila brand. And Alexia's like, nobody knew you had a tequila brand. And Larsa's like, that's what makes you a bad friend, because you didn't know. But like majority of the people on that couch didn't know she had a tequila brand, other than I think Adriana, maybe Kiki, and Lisa. Everybody else was like, girl, we didn't know you had a tequila brand. What are you talking about? So then Guerdy chimes in and calls Larsa product pushing Pippin. And I think she thought it ate, but it didn't. Because I was like, because Larsa kept trying to say her products, she gives them as gifts, but that's not a gift, Larsa. That's you pushing your products, like Guerdy said. But the product pushing pimping, it didn't eat. It didn't eat. So then Larsa and Alexia start arguing about her saying, I don't have Todd's money. And Alexia says she took offense to it. Then Larsa brings up Herman, and like Alexia's like, girl, I haven't talked to, like, why are you bringing up Herman? And so Andy chimes in and he was like, well, Larsa, don't you think that's a contradiction because you were with Scotty for 20 years? And the truth of the matter is Larsa got paid good money. She has an account to Scotty's retirement because she had been with him that long, like since he had been in the league. So they said, legally, girl, you was in the gym with him. Okay. You was throwing them shots with him pretty much. So you get half of that. But Larsa brings up that for 6 years, she's been on her own. I don't know if that means like when they were trying to figure out the divorce, she wasn't given any money like that. But I'm like, girl, you get money. You may not get the money you used to have when you were with Scotty. Then Larsa's being like, well, I was just giving it to you like a compliment because a dual income. Yeah, dual income, girl, we get it. We get it, but we're not going to act like you don't have money or Scotty's not giving you money. You get child support and your kids don't even live with you full term. Your kids live in LA with their father, but you get child support because they go back and forth. You also get paid from Scotty's retirement, and then, you do your OnlyFans, you have your, like, so it's like, I get Larsa trying to be like, well, I have to work differently, but stop trying to act like you were like truly a single mother out here in the gritty streets of America, really busting, grinding, and surviving, girl. You and you can afford a I think it was a $4.5 million condo. You not out here scratching and surviving like the regular people. Like, let's not, Larsa. So then Lisa and Kiki get into it because they start talking about the gondola ride. And Kiki pretty much says, Lisa, you look down on me because everybody else was telling you to stop throwing food at the animals, but you telling me to shut the F up. Lisa starts getting emotional like she does, talking about how she signed this letter, which, it altered her life. And then Kiki ends up being like, okay, I get that, but you gonna give me my respect. So then they end up saying sorry back and forth to each other. Guerdy chimes in and says, well, Lisa, you were doing a lot. You were doing the whole, like, don't fight me thing, being very passive aggressive. Then Andy chimes in and it was like, it was a microaggression because you saying that to her does have a different connotation. And it does. And it was very passive aggressive. Like, everybody called it out. And Lisa was just like, but that's not what I meant. Like, I meant it in jest. Like, I was trying to be funny. And it was like, yeah, if you would have have done it like one time, that's funny. But you said something in the sprinter when y'all were on y'all way to the Pride event. You then said something when y'all were dancing at the Pride event. Then you said something again when y'all were in Alexia's room pre-gaming before y'all went to the club. So it no longer became a joke. It became your way of getting at Kiki and like harping on something where you said you wanted to move on from it. And then they get on the whole "I can't fix your childhood trauma" comment, and she ends up saying like, well, it came out wrong. And Andy looking at her like, girl, you don't want to apologize for what you said. Like, the statement shouldn't have been said. And Lisa's like, no, it shouldn't have been said. But she's just like, I didn't know these things about Kiki, just like Kiki doesn't know the things like what has happened to me growing up. So then they end up pretty much being like, they're cool. They'll take like baby steps. Like, you can tell that Lisa doesn't really want beef with Kiki, and Kiki doesn't really want beef with Lisa, but it did rub her the wrong way that out of everybody, Lisa had the most heat for Kiki. And we're not going to act like Lisa hasn't picked up negative traits from being with Lenny, because Lisa talks about how Lenny looks down on people that don't have a certain monetary, like money in the bank like they do. And Kiki is the one that's like the poorest one on the cast. Like, she does not have the same money. Like, she's not the same as them. But like, it was weird that everybody was telling you to chill out and you snapped on Kiki. You told her to shut the F up. You've yelled at Guerdy. So, Lisa, it does give that you may be an unconscious Karen. Shouts out to Garcelle. So pretty much the reunion is basically almost over. Andy does his traditional like asking the ladies like where they are. We find out that Adriana, I guess, is going on tour, which congrats to her. Like, I love, like, again, I always say I love the fact that even though Adriana gets on my nerves, I'm happy to see her living her dreams of like being a singer at the age that she is now. But like, never give up on what you really want to do in life. But I do hope, Adriana, we are working on how to lip sing. Because when they showed that clip of you lip singing at the Pride Festival, girl, it's horrible. Even when you was lip singing at the hotel, horrible. You gonna have to learn. I'm telling y'all, girl, just watch the drag queens. Watch them perform. They emote. They give you something you can feel. I need you to do that. We need to work on that, Adriana. Nicole is excited to become a girl mom. She can't wait to start dressing her daughter up in all the latest outfits and fashion. And to a certain extent, I haven't liked any of Nicole's reunion outfits, but she does dress cute throughout the season. So I'm definitely looking forward to seeing outfits of her and her daughter together. Lisa, they said, she's less angry. Like, she's a lot happier now that she's moved out that house, like everybody was telling you to. She's hoping that the divorce will come to an end soon. She's also started this new platform called Split Well. Marisol chimes in and says that she gave the name. Like, she was like, well, I gave you the name. And Lisa's looking at her like, no, you didn't. Jody gave me that name. And Marisol's like, no, I definitely gave y'all the name. We were sitting down at lunch and I said, split well. But it's okay. I don't want no money from it. I said, that might be an issue for Lisa and Marisol going forward. Then Larsa says she's living her best life. Her oldest son is getting offers from all the greatest colleges around the school. She met the love of her life. Okay. Guerdy is rolling her eyes at this. Then Marisol talks about, she's on her third marriage. She's in her 50s. She gonna do it her way. We find out that she's actually legally married in Mexico. And then in Scotland, she's just not legally married in America. I mean, look, if they're committed to each other, I don't think anybody should be hating on how they consummate their marriage. It's their marriage. Them kids see Marisol as their stepmama, so it has to be real somewhere. Kiki says she's glad that she shared more of her life and that people are getting to know her better, i.e. the fans. Julia talks about how she thought she knew how this group was, but she realizes that everybody can change. But then she throws a dig at Larsa, saying she still doesn't believe that Larsa's butt is real. Larsa takes offense like she does and says, well, I don't get your relationship with Martina because you like black dick. I said, where are we going? Where are we going with this? And then Larsa ends up being like, well, That's what Alexia told me. And Alexia's like, yeah. And she's like, Kiki knows, Julia knows, like, you ain't got me nowhere, sis. I'm good. I'm good. Then we get to Alexia. Alexia says she built a lot of bridges and she really wants to work on her friendship with Nicole because she does want to be friends with her. Marisol chimes in and she's like, yeah, because I've been telling you. I'm like, Marisol, no, you haven't. So next thing you know, you have Larsa, Nicole, and Lisa having a conversation about how offended they are about Alexia saying that everybody on the cast is liars except her. And she's like, I think she should apologize to us about that. So Alexia's like, what are y'all talking about? So Larsa says, I think, Alexia, you should apologize to everyone for calling us liars. And Alexia's like, why? Because I'm telling the truth. They do the flashback of her saying it like 6 hours ago. So then Andy said, okay, who do you think on the cast is liars? She says Lisa, Guerdy, Kiki, and Julia are the ones that tell the truth. But Adriana is a liar. Nicole lied about not really knowing the issues between her and Anna. And then Larsa, she said Larsa's definitely a liar. And then she said Marisol just don't be remembering the truth. And that really offended Marisol said, Porque, what? What we talking about? What do you mean? So Marisol didn't like that. She was like, are you serious? And she felt like Alexia threw her under the bus. Next thing you know, why did Adriana bring out the Bible? When did she bring out the Bible? I guess she's been holding on to the Bible. So she reads I think a chapter from Leviticus. I said, what does the Bible have to do with any of this? Marisol saying you should not be reading from the Bible. I said, what is going on? What is going on? Back to them asking questions after Larsa and Alexia got into it about who's a liar. And so they ask about perspective. That was Guerdy's response when she was like, perspective, like this whole journey has changed her perspective of how she views life. She also feels like we have to learn how to give the girls the benefit of the doubt. So out of nowhere, Larsa is like, Guerdy, I want to give you a hug. Guerdy stands up promptly to give this lady a hug. Larsa apologizes again, and now they're cool because Larsa said, I think we just need to argue and yell at each other and then we'll be cool. And this is my thing. Guerdy just wanted to be friends with Larsa. Because now Guerdy's whole thing is like, I'm a lover, not a fighter. But you've been fighting with her this whole entire... like, Guerdy just wanted to be friends with Larsa. And I feel like if Larsa just had to show her an ounce of that she cared about her. And that's what Larsa did with that hug. And now they're cool. Because there's no way you're telling me that at the beginning of this episode, you said that lady made cancer hard for you. That she put you in a dark space with cancer. And all she had to do was give you a hug for you to now be cool. Girl, you just wanted to be friends with her. And you just wanted her to show that she cared about you to a certain extent. And Larsa did that, and now y'all cool. Because ain't no way. So then we then do shots of Larsa's tequila. And the tequila bottle is cute. Although I feel like when I drink, I like clear bottles. Like, I want to see how much is in there. Okay, I do. Because I feel like people they be gypping us when it comes to alcohol the same way they gyp us with like chip bags where you think the bag is full but it's nothing but air in there. I'm kind of like that with liquor bottles. Like, I need to make sure that you fill this almost all the way to the top. And Larsa's liquor gives that it's probably going to be in like the $40 to $60 price range because the bottle is nice. Like, it definitely could be like a piece of like art or like a little statue in somebody's office because I want to see what's inside. I want to know that if I'm going to spend like at least like $55 on some alcohol, the bottle is full. Like, I'm getting my money's worth because when me and my friends drink, or even if I'm just drinking, we drink, okay? We pour ourselves a cute little glass and we'll sip and watch a TV show. Or if we had a party, we are drinking the bottle until it's gone. So I want to know I'm getting my money's worth. So they all take shots. Everyone seems to like it. Next thing out of nowhere, Julia's, the guy that helped her practice her opera singing for Martina, pops up and he starts singing. He's lip singing, doing a better job than Adriana and Julia. Because out of nowhere, Julia comes out with a microphone in her hand and she starts singing, and it's clearly lip singing but Julia is doing a little bit better than Adriana. But it's clear as day lip singing because Julia would say something or she would stop singing and the song was still continuing. Like it was like she was holding a note, but she was just doing a poor job, just a poor job. And everyone's just kind of looking like, oh my gosh. And then out of nowhere, it's like strobe lights go off. And now they singing Ave Maria with a house beat. Like it was like, do. And everyone's like, yeah. Andy is having a good time. Andy is loving it. Everyone's just kind of like, Marisol is sitting there confused, and then she finally decides to get up and dance with the girls. And that's how the episode, like the reunion ended. Now, the episode didn't end, but it ended with Marisol and Alexia arguing with each other because Marisol felt some type of way that Alexia said that she was basically a liar. And Marisol was like, you really threw me under the bus like that? For real like that? Like, for real like that? I didn't know we was like that. For real? Okay. But my thing about it is Marisol has always been more loyal to Alexia than Alexia to Marisol. Like, even though they're best friends, Alexia does not, like, Alexia be hanging Marisol out there to dry. And she's quick to, like, throw things in Marisol's face. Like, when they were in Ultimate Girls Trip, she was so quick to tell everyone that Marisol's marriage wasn't real and that she was acting like a child when she was feeling sick and that she was being mean. Like, she was just being real rough with Marisol. So I predict for next season that they're probably going to have a rift. Even though they have that podcast show together, I definitely think there's going to be a moment where they have beef with each other, because I think Marisol needs to like wake up and realize that like that lady don't ride for you the same way you ride for her. Not saying you should like end the friendship, but you definitely should set up boundaries with her. Like maybe you should get cool with Nicole if she not going to be cool with Nicole. You know, and maybe you should try to fix your relationship with Adriana, but then again, Adriana keep playing in your face. She do be playing in Marisol's face. But I think after season 8, no, are we on 7? I don't know why I be jumping. But I like this cast. I think that we should stay with this cast, but they need to add one new housewife, because right now we would have 3 seasons with the 6 main girls, which I think is Julia, Alexia, Larsa, Lisa, Guerdy, and Nicole. And then our friends of is Kiki, Marisol, and Adriana. So that's 9 girls. I feel like season 7, we could still have these 9 girls, but we need to start adding in one new person. Like we need one new girl, like one new housewife to like liven up the group. And I think it should be like a friend of Nicole's, because I think that's what's missing is Nicole needs a solid a solid friend that's gonna have her back the same way like Adriana. Because that's the thing, if you see, because you have Alexia and Marisol, Lisa and Larsa are like this. Julia and Adriana are like this, but you can kind of see the rift in Julia and Adriana. Nicole and Guerdy are like that, but Guerdy has more leeway to like roam throughout the group, and Kiki's more loyal to Larsa, even though Guerdy introduced her. So I'm thinking that like Nicole needs like one girl that's like going to be her friend and have her back, that's like fun. But I would want that girl to either be like someone that's Jamaican. Like we need one more black person. So I would think, because we good on the Latin girls, so I think we need like a Jamaican girl or another Caribbean girl to like live up the group. But I enjoyed this cast. I think Miami is what old Housewives used to be. Like, they're fun. We have serious moments, but we also have a lot more fun moments. It's like the drama is like they're able to move forward. That's the issue that I feel like the old Housewives are like is running into. Like definitely with Potomac, same with Atlanta, like people not letting stuff go. And partially A little bit with Beverly Hills, but they got rid of Lisa. So like it kind of feels different there. OC, they've been getting rid of people, like adding new people and taking taking people away. So it's like they've been a lot fresher. But yeah, I think they need to add one girl, and I would love for it to be somebody that's from the islands, you know, Jamaican or from like St. Kitts or St. Lucia, like somebody like another Caribbean, like brown skinned girly. Like I feel like they should add. But all in all, I enjoyed this season. I know some people fell off, but we ain't never fallen off on the Miami girls because they give us fun, wealth, fashions, and a good time. But yeah, y'all, that is it. That is all. Remember to be bravely authentic. Definitely hop down in them comments below. Give me your thoughts. Did you enjoy this season? Would you like a new person to be added? Or do you think somebody should be taken away? And I'm out, y'all. Deuces.